And right here on the Shotgun Tom Kelly Show, we have that brand new John Lennon song that you've been waiting for, Imogene. Yeah.
Imaging all those people. You gotta believe you can soar like an eagle. You gotta have dreams before you fly. There's no guarantee there's gonna be tomorrow. Stand up and reach for the sky. Stand up and reach for the sky. Hey everybody, welcome to Backstage Pass. My name is Jeff Sr. I'm your host, pilot by day, rocker by night, and where we bring in amazing people in this world that are doing and have done incredible things. And today, I have a legend next to me, and it's amazing. It's an honor to be here with him and especially talk music, because it's one of my favorite pastimes. Please welcome my guest, Mr. Shotgun Tom Kelly.
Oh, well, Jeff, it's my pleasure being here, man.
It's great to have you.
You're very good on the guitar and singing, too.
That was nervous singing in front of you.
That was quite nice, man.
But so you are, I actually grew up in Southern California, and I learned to fly at Van Nuys Airport, and then I was also in music. My mom was a violinist, so I've had music in my heart my whole life. And so growing up in Southern Cal, you can't grow up and be involved in rock and roll and not know you or who you are. And I've listened to you for years on K-Earth 101.
That's right. I was at K-Earth for about 20 years.
Yes.
Kind of doing the afternoon drive show.
So your voice is so amazing and recognizable. And
I just let it fly.
That's right. And
you better believe it, baby.
Yeah. So I still know the jingle, K-Earth 101, you know.
Yeah, but, Shotgun Tom Kelly.
Yeah, exactly.
K-Earth 101. As a matter of fact, if you go on YouTube, Johnny Man directed that. That was the Johnny Man Singers.
Okay.
And so when they recorded my jingle, I had my video camera with me.
Right.
And so we see the singers doing my jingle that I played on K-Earth 101 for 20 years.
Wow.
And you hear Johnny Man goes, okay, you know, the singers are like rehearsing, Kelly, and Johnny goes, okay, and hits the piano. Okay, a 1, 2, a 1, 2. Shotgun Tom Kelly, K-Earth 101. You know, it's being a musician, I was watching the singers. They were their mouths moved, their tongues were in the same place. It's amazing. If you're a jingle singer or a backup singer, you sing together and you sing the same notes. As a matter of fact, they showed me my I thought that was just words. No, there's notes on there.
Sure.
That they read.
It's like formation flying. It's a team.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah. So, and you were born in San Diego.
Yeah, born and raised in San Diego, yeah.
When did you get started, or what had first inspired you into radio?
Well, my mother.
Okay.
My mother, LaVon Irwin, and I remember I was going to St. John of the Cross Catholic School in Lemon Grove.
Okay.
And I was 10 years old, Jeff, and I came home, and my mom was listening to Kogo Radio, which is still here today.
Kogo Radio.
Kogo Radio, K-O-G-O. And she heard this gentleman, Frank Thompson, broadcasting in a trailer in Lemon Grove, and he was interviewing people on the air. So I came home, and my mother said, Tommy, there's a man broadcasting on Kogo Radio, and he's putting people on the air. Why don't you go down and see if he'll put you on the radio and interview you?
Wow.
I said, well, okay, Mom. So I got on my bike, and it wasn't too far down there in Lemon Grove. We lived in La Mesa. And so there was the man.
Rode your bike down there.
Huh?
Rode your bike.
I rode my bike down there.
Yeah.
And he was in a trailer, and he had 2 turntables and a microphone. And I noticed Frank Thompson's glasses, the horn-rimmed glasses. This is back in 1961, maybe, or somewhere around there.
Okay.
So anyway, I was watching him on the air, and he goes, "Yeah, this is Frank Thompson on KOGO. We have a young man looking in the window here. Why don't you come in the studio, young man?" And I came in, and he says, "What's your name?" "My name is Tom." "What school do you go to?" "I go to St. John of the Cross Catholic School, Lemon Grove." Yeah. "Well, Tom, I've got 4 tickets for the LA T-Birds when they come to town, and they're going to be at Westgate Park," which, by the way, is Fashion Valley today.
Okay.
But so I stood there and I watched him do his show, and to answer your question, that's what started me
Planted
out.
the seed.
Yeah, and then of course I followed him around because he was the remote guy.
Okay.
They wouldn't let a little kid in a radio station. So, but I always had access to Frank, and wherever he would go, a shopping center or whatever. So we became good friends.
Nice.
And Frank has been good friends throughout my life until his death. And he got off the disc jockey thing, and he became an incredible news director at KJR in Seattle.
Wow.
That was his last job. But anyway, from Frank, I went around to other radio stations. And at the time, there was a station, KDEO, Radio KDO.
Okay.
And by the way, the building is still there. It's Fletcher Hills Printing.
Wow.
But anyway, there was a gentleman, Jim Price. He was the program director.
Okay.
So he called me in, and he said, because I was hanging around the station. And so I must have been 12 or maybe 13 at this time. So he said, "I'd like a teenager's opinion of a record that I'm about to add on the station." And it's kind of a folksy group. Not too many people are convinced that they're going to have a hit, but I really think they are. But I need a teenager's opinion on this song. Would you give it to me? And I said, "Sure, Mr. Price, I will." So he took me in his office. He played the song, and he says, "Well, what do you think of it?" Because no other radio station in the country has gone on it.
Okay.
This is their first hit. And I said, "Well, Mr. Price, I really like it." He said, "Okay, I'm going to add it tomorrow." He was the first station in the nation to add the Mamas and the Papas California Dreamin'.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Major hit. And that
Big hit.
Yeah.
And Sonny Jim Price knew it.
Incredible.
And he says, "Well, because of that, I'm going to hire you." So he hired me as a gopher and to help the other disc jockeys out, like Ray Willis and Chuck Cooper, who are still my friends
That's
today.
so amazing. Well, and in the music industry, it's so funny where the quote experts might go, "Oh, they'll never make that," but then like you read the stories of the Beatles, they got turned down by record labels. So the experts, but then they rose to great fame, So, and I'm sure you've seen that many times.
I have.
In your career.
I have made some big mistakes, Jeff,
No,
in
come
my
on.
career.
Yeah.
Some that I'm very embarrassed about.
Yeah.
You like to hear one of them?
Sure, I'd love to hear one.
Well, I worked a long time in San Diego, 35 years.
Okay.
I started out at Boss Radio KGB AM 136 KGB, again, the Johnny Man singers.
Right.
And then I went over to KCBQ. And while at KCBQ, we had a chance to play John Lennon's brand new record. We were going to be the first station in the world to play John Lennon's new record. We made a whole agreement with the record company that we would really promote it. We'd fly the acetate down on PSA Airlines, and we'd give it.
Wow.
Yeah, remember that?
Absolutely.
Only about 12 plays on those acetates. So we flew it down to San Diego from Los Angeles, and we had an armored truck. They put it in, and by the way, this was film, not video in those days.
Okay.
So they were filming the armored truck with motorcycle escort going out to Santee where the radio station was. And we had been promoting this for about a month. KCBQ is going to have the world exclusive of the brand new John Lennon song. Stay tuned. We didn't know when it was, because John Lennon was on his own schedule.
Okay.
So anyway, it came on my show. So the TV film cameras are behind the glass. It came in, and on this acetate, now an acetate only has about 12 plays. It's kind of soft.
Okay.
So we thought we'd better put it on tape, my program director. So he put it on tape, a cartridge, and he wrote the title of the song. He gave it to my intern. He rushed it into me, and I put it in the machine, and I go, ladies and gentlemen, KCBQ told you we would have the world exclusive of the brand new John Lennon song. And right here on the Shotgun Tom Kelly Show, we have that brand new John Lennon song that you've been waiting for. And I looked down and read the label. Remember, it was handwritten. That brand new John Lennon song that we've all been waiting for, Imogene. Yeah.
Imaging. Okay.
Yeah,
Imagine, right?
Well, that mistake has, I guess, kind of made me famous, you know.
Yeah.
But had it gone off correctly, nobody would have been the wiser.
Yeah. Imaging all those people. No.
Imogene, like Imogene Coca. You know?
Right.
But and Ted Leitner is the one that told me that I should. Because we had a little thing going, find out. I interviewed Ted about his deepest, darkest secret. He interviewed me about my deepest, darkest secret. And he goes, well, okay, what is your deepest? I said, oh, it's terrible. I made a terrible mistake on the John Lennon song. And I told him, he says, that is gold, man. You gotta tell that.
Yeah.
So he told it on the Channel 8 News. He was doing play-by-play with the Padres.
That's
They had a
awesome.
rain out in St. Louis, and he did all the National American League scores. And then he ran out of things to say because it was still raining. So he said, I got to tell you about my friend Shotgun Tom Kelly. And then he told that story.
Amazing.
And so it's been told many times.
I bet.
Jeff and Jer, who are radio personalities in San Diego for many years, they loved it. So many people have said that story.
I love that story.
And my boss, just to embarrass me, when I was getting my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, he told that story in front of the press.
Right.
So, but anyway.
But those stories are what make that, life is not perfect, and we're not perfect as humans. We make mistakes all the time.
Oh, man, I stubbed my toe right and left. You wouldn't believe
and being
it.
able to laugh at our mistakes is, we're so uptight all the time.
Right.
We're human. Get over it.
Well, I try not to take myself too seriously.
Absolutely, absolutely. We shouldn't. None of us should.
And I have fun, man.
Absolutely.
I have.
It shows.
I have a great radio career and television too. My first television kid show was Words of Poppin', and it was produced over at Channel 10, KGTV. This is back in the 70s. And this was a time when they wanted educational children's programming instead of a cartoon host,
Right.
So this show was very, very high class. It had 3 games: mix a word, build a word, and find a word. We had 2 teams of players, top team and bottom team, and it was syndicated across the country.
Wow.
And I won 2 Emmy Awards for that show.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, recently, I was at a modeling convention in Los Angeles, in Pasadena, at the Civic Convention Center there. And this gentleman came up to me and he said, Shotgun Tom Kelly? I said, yeah. He said, when I was in 5th grade, I was on your television show, Words of Poppin'. I said, really? I said, well, you had to be a pretty sharp kid to be on that show. They auditioned the kids.
Right.
And I said, well, what do you do now? He said, well, I'm a doctor. I said, well, there you go.
Wow.
So anyway, his hobby is building these models, these spaceships, and weathering them. I mean, the guy is tremendously talented.
Amazing. Yeah.
But that's his hobby. He's a doctor, but then he has these.
Right.
Like,
right.
and you talk about aviation.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of planes that these modelers put together, and tanks. I mean, these are adults doing this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, these things.
It's a big.
Oh yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I used to get these model kits and put together cars and stuff like that.
What's one of your hobbies?
Well,
what do you like to do?
Well, right now my hobby is HO trains. Now, here's the deal.
HO trains. I love HO.
HO model trains.
Yeah.
And by the way,
because they're the most detailed.
Oh, and they've been out a long time.
Right.
There's N-Gauge, HO. I'm a member of the Balboa Park Train Club down there, the San Diego Model Train Association. I run trains every Wednesday. I would be running them today, but I'm with you, Jeff.
Oh my gosh! Well, I am honored. Thank you for giving up your passion to come over here.
Well, anyway, there's a film. I urge your listeners if they want to take a look at it. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
And you go Shotgun Tom Kelly.
Okay.
And then you see the Santa Fe train, hit on that, and that is a 6-minute video of my layout that I have. It was produced in Hollywood, and with green screen. I have a radio and television station on there.
Nice.
And all I can tell you, just to moisten your curiosity, a fire breaks out in this video.
Oh, wow.
And then we go right to the...
On the HO train?
Oh, well, no, not on the train. On one of the the
Okay, okay.
I have a downtown area,
Wow.
residential area,
Wow.
industrial area, and I'm really kind of proud of this video.
That's amazing.
By the way, Johnny Kaye, Hollywood director, he's a big train fan, so he has a production company. He used to work for Dick Clark. So
Okay.
Johnny Kaye put this video together, and even if you hate trains, you're gonna love this video.
You can't help but like trains. I mean, just the history of the train, and then but the models and the detail and the trees
yeah.
and even people. And
Well, Jeff,
you know.
that brings me to the reason I love trains so much today is my dad was a railroad engineer in San Diego
Wow.
for like 45 years.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of seniority, and his name was John G. Irwin, Sr.
Okay.
And so anyway, he was asked to take the President of the United States from Los Angeles Union Station into San Diego, our beautiful depot that we have here.
Wow.
And it was a whistle-stop tour.
Right.
So he pulled the train in, and he looked out one side of the engine, Jeff, and there were thousands of people waiting to see the
Yeah,
president.
I bet.
He looked out the
Which
other
president
side,
was it?
and there was nobody.
Yeah.
There was nobody. See, I'm teasing you. I'm not going to tell you which president
Okay,
it was
okay.
until the end of my story.
All right, you got it.
That's what we do in radio.
That's
you know.
right.
We give you a little
The
something, and
suspense.
then we have you hang on through
Absolutely,
the commercials.
absolutely.
But anyway, there's no commercials here. But anyway, so anyway, one side of the train, thousands of people to see the president.
Okay.
The other side, there was nobody. So my dad got his grip. His job was done. He got off the engine, and he walked to his car as fast as possible. And he ran into this guy, and this guy said, "Hey, I've been with these people all along. I'm really tired. You're the engineer, aren't you?" He said, "Well, yes, Mr. President, I am." It was Harry Truman in 1948.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
At the end of World War II, basically.
Well, he was doing a whistle-stop tour here in San Diego,
Amazing,
and he was
yeah.
lifting the arm. I remember I went into the microfilm back in those days, and there was the front page of the San Diego Union of Truman lifting the arm of our next Democratic Congressman, Clinton McKinnon.
Wow.
Clinton McKinnon, of course, Mike McKinnon, his son, owns KUSI-TV.
Wow.
And so they were in the publishing and broadcasting business for many years. But anyway, I wanted to meet a president one day.
Yeah.
So anyway, my congressman said, "Why don't you MC the president's rally?" And I said, "Well, that'd be great." And he says, "As a matter, I got a better idea. After the rally, we'll arrange for you to go back to the White House, and you'll actually meet the president. Why don't you give him one of your trademark Ranger hats?"
Nice.
And I said, "Well, okay." So he did it. He arranged for it. We're outside the Oval Office in the West Wing waiting to see the president. And so the White House staff guy said, "Duncan, shotgun, the president is ready to see you." So we walk in the Oval Office, that thick door, that seamless
Yeah.
door, and the president is behind the Resolute, which is the desk. He gets up from the Resolute over to the shell bookcase where we are. And I've got the hat, I've got my hat, and he's been briefed.
Right.
He knows my name. So he extends his hand and he says,
Shotgun.
"Well, Shotgun, I understand that you were the MC and kept the people entertained while they're waiting for me in San
I know
Diego."
which president that was. Just
And
by
I
the
said,
voice.
"Yes, Mr. President, I did. And I bring my trademark Ranger hat, and I hope you'll put it on." He goes, "Well," and he put it on. That was the
Ronald
president.
Reagan.
Yeah,
right?
Ronald Reagan. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. And real quickly, I know we're running out. I could talk to you for hours.
I know.
And hope
Maybe
to have you
I'm
back.
spouting. I should
No,
let-
no, I love.
I should let you do the questions
Not,
here.
no.
I'm
I love
spouting
it.
off.
No, not at all. Real quickly, the Walk of Fame, because I grew up. My mom grew
Yeah.
up and went to Fairfax High.
Yeah.
She used to take me down to Grauman's Chinese and
Sure.
all the stars down there. What year did you get that?
2013.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What an amazing
And
accomplishment.
my apartment was at Park La Brea. You know where the
Yeah,
Park La Brea is?
yeah.
I was there for like 20 years.
Wow.
And I know where Fairfax High is,
Yeah,
too. Just
she-
down from Canard's Deli.
Yeah, she grew up around there. And
Oh, it's
was
great.
a
Yeah.
violinist. So
Yeah, that was a big deal, getting the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and having my friend Stevie Wonder be one of my speakers. And, of course, the guy who put together my video, Johnny K. He was up there. It was really a wonderful day.
Well, what a story and what a journey and what an inspiration you truly are to all of us, especially as a musician. We just look up to you, and thanks for all your work that you've done.
Oh, my
I just
pleasure.
can't thank
You know, I
enough.
still get people coming up today. They when I did the kids show over at Channel 10, or for 12 years I did the KUSI Kids Club over at KUSI TV, and it's rewarding when grown adults come up to me and say, you know, Shotgun.
Yeah.
I grew up watching you on television.
Absolutely.
I'd come home from school and I'd see you on the
You
KUSI.
affected so many lives. Yeah.
And that makes me feel good.
Absolutely.
It really does.
Well, Shotgun Tom Kelly, thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do. Keep up the great work, and I hope we can keep in touch, and I hope to have you back on the show sometime. I'd be honored. So,
Jeff, it is my
thank you.
pleasure.
So, folks, thanks for tuning in. Jeff Sr. here, Backstage Pass. Until the next pass, we'll see you next time.